Natalia from Delightful Bash, and today I'm really excited to start out our wedding planning series. I will be posting a video every week with tips and tricks and suggestions from me for you to plan your wedding. Today we're going to talk about the first 3 things that I feel that you need to do after you get engaged. So first of all, congratulations if you're engaged, you're getting married, you're so excited. Make sure that you take a deep breath and you really enjoy where you're at right now. It will get overwhelming. It will feel like a part-time job sometimes to do all the research and contacting all your vendors, meeting with your vendors, giving down deposits, all of the things that you have to do before that big day comes and you can celebrate. But right now, I want you to enjoy where you're at, celebrate with your partners, celebrate with your friends, and don't worry too much because anticipating how overwhelming it's going to be, it's only going to convert into anxiety, and that is not what you want. You want your wedding to be something exciting that you're looking forward to. And even though sometimes it will be overwhelming, you're going to be fine. And I hope that these videos that I'm putting out are going to help you maintain your stress levels low, because you're going to know that you have everything lined up for your wedding and that you have nothing to worry about. To get right into it, I'm going to give you the 3 things that I think you need to do before you start planning anything. My number 1 thing that I think you need to do, create a vision for your wedding. Not by yourself on Pinterest, but with your partner. So pop open a bottle of champagne or a bottle of wine or a 6-pack of beer, whatever you're into, and sit down with your partner and no one else, just you and your partner, and talk about the style that you want for your wedding. There's going to be a little bit of compromise. You have to be willing to combine both of your styles and make your beautiful wedding together, because it is both of your weddings. But right now, don't worry too much about how you're going to make it happen, if it's in your budget. Just talk about your ideal situation. If you could have anything you wanted, of course, a little bit in the realistic side, but talk about the style you want. Talk about what kind of weather you'd like to have it in. So if you're going to pick winter or summer or fall, talk about your priorities. If you want to make sure you have a great photographer and that's your priority number 1, or if your priority number 1 is to have beautiful flowers, or if your priority number 1 is to have every one of your friends in your wedding party. Whatever your priorities are, this is a great time to talk about them and define what you and your partner find very important to include in your wedding. And this is the time to do it. Not after you've booked half the things and realize that your priorities are not covered. So talk with your partner about your vision. Talk with your partner about what's important to you. Talk with your partner about traditions that are important, or traditions that you want to include, or traditions that you don't want to include, things that you really don't want to have in your wedding. Those are important to talk about too. If you hate conga lines, you need to talk about that with your partner and say, this is not something we're going to have in our wedding. If you don't like cake, this is something that you guys should talk about. We're not having cake. We're going to have cookies instead, and that is something that you can decide, because it's your wedding and you guys get to pick everything that you want, and don't let anybody else tell you what's important to you on your day. Okay, now that that's clear, number 2 is going to be to create a guest list. So this is going to closely affect your budget as well. But right now, I don't want you to worry about that. Right now, I just want you to just grab a pen and paper and jot down all the names of people that you want to have there. First, you're going to list off your immediate family and very close friends. Then you can list off other family members and friends that are important to you and you want to have there. And then for the last category, you want to leave acquaintances and distant family that you want to invite, obviously, and might not be able to if your budget comes down to it. But we'll get there. So make sure you put every single person on that list that you want there. Every single person. And now we find ourselves at number 3. Number 3 is to create a budget, because unfortunately, this is the least favorite of every single person in the world for any task that you want to perform. Nobody ever wants to talk about a budget, but realistically you have to. So you're gonna have to create a budget, and what I suggest you do is, if you are paying for your own wedding, the first thing is to come up with the total amount that you and your partner feel okay saving up for your wedding. Don't count on anybody's gifts yet, even if they said they're gonna give them to you. And if your parents are paying for your wedding and they said, go for it, I'll pay everything, then congratulations to you. That is amazing. For now, I just want you to come up with the total amount that you're okay saving up from now until the day of the wedding. Even though you're gonna need some of that money before the wedding, because you're gonna have to put down deposits for every vendor that you book. You're gonna have to put down a deposit, so you want to make sure that you have a little bit of that money already, or that you're gonna be able to have a little bit of that money as the time goes. But you need to discuss how much the total amount of dollars that you are willing to spend on your wedding. And on another video, we're going to talk a little bit more in detail on how to allocate that money. But you do want to prioritize your money depending on your prior conversation of what's important to you. So make sure that you're allocating money towards the vendors that you discussed that are very important to you, whether it's the photographer or the florist or the DJ. Make sure that you're allocating a good enough amount towards the things that are very important to you, and then make sure that you keep watching the wedding planning series so you can come up with a very specific budget depending on your total amount that you decided. But the most important thing right now, I think, it's to come up with a total amount that you're willing to spend on your wedding. That's all I have for you today. And again, congratulations on your engagement. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that if you enjoyed this video, you like and subscribe this channel so that you can stay tuned, because next week we're going to talk about the first thing that you have to book, which is your venue. We're going to talk a little bit about what's important to look out for in your venue, what kind of venues are out there, and how to get the best deals with your venues, etc. So make sure that you subscribe so that you can be notified when the next video comes out. Other than that, have a great day, and I'll see you next week.